You've seen these geography style videos on Reels, Shorts, TikTok, the smooth motion graphics, the zoom ins, the slick narration, the kind that are pulling 100k plus views and in some cases even racking up to $30,000 a month. I myself recently started an Insta channel teaching geography in the likeness of SRK, which is doing not bad at all. And folks who know me know very well I don't know a single animation software tool like After Effects for shit. So how do you make such videos? Whether it's for educational purpose or to go viral on social media or just for general motion graphics kicks. You make them with AI. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create these kind of videos in minutes with zero design skills. This is Hustle Hatch, where I break down creative AI tools that you can use for your hustle. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Hera, starting in darkness. Needless to say, if you're starting out with creating a video, the first step, of course, here is the script. And for that, of course, we're going to use ChatGPT. But instead of asking it to just write something viral, here's a smarter approach. So, of course, look for the kind of videos that you want to create on YouTube. Very simple, unknown geography facts about India, for example, right? Find the ones that are doing well and see what about it in particular is working. At least step one here, if you don't want to use too much of your brains in that sense, is to rip the script off, right? So you find the video that you want. I mean, the script here works well, even though the spellings are all wrong. And then figure out how you can repurpose that for your requirement, right? Fastest way to do it, find a YouTube transcriber, put the link over there, get the script, and then the entire game is to use this script to make those tweaks that you want via ChatGPT. Really quickly, as you can see over here, I've gotten the transcript. Let's put that into ChatGPT and figure out how to get the right script for me. So like I said, likeness of SRK is what I was going for. That's the means to repackage the same content with my own tadka, for a lack of better word. So come up with an idea like that for yourself as well, where you can take a script like this, make a tiny variation to it so that it becomes new again and it still appeals in an entertaining manner, so to say. If it's voiceovers that you need to generate, there's of course no excuse over there either. Tools like 11 Labs, Play.ht make life very easy for you. Whether it's to create a voiceover from scratch or to clone somebody's voice. Of course, you need permission to do something like that, which is why this is just an experiment that I'm doing with SRK's voice. But before we talk about the post-production stuff, let's make sure our script is set. So, like I said, put the transcript onto ChatGPT. Something as simple as analyze and tell me if this is any good. Just to kind of get its creative juices flowing, so to say. Here's a real quick breakdown, and I've already given it some context earlier about the SRK thing, which is why it's potentially looking to rewrite this already with that variation. So, as you can see, India ka geography, beta, not just best in Asia, this is natural selection on steroids. Whether this is the best script or not what we're talking about, but the process in terms of how you can go about it is what I hope you get to see over here. So with some back and forth that I did with ChatGPT, I got, the kind of scripts that I want for a series like this, for Geo Gyan with SRK. And a more meaningful way to go about this with respect to how you prompt GPT is something like this, where you ask it to analyze the script, identify what makes it engaging like you saw me do. Now write me a 30-second fact-based script on an interesting topic in Indian geography using a similar tone and pacing. That way you make sure ChatGPT isn't guessing, it's mimicking the structure, the rhythm, the impact, all based on the example that you just picked. Right, once you have your script, now we move to Hera, your AI motion designer, right? As it says on the landing page, right? You can just type exactly what you want and you get what you want, right? And as you can see, a lot of various examples already exist so that you get a little bit of an idea of the kind of motion graphics it can do. It can animate logos, it can get statistics and facts, and of course, the satire videos about how you can make geography-based videos, which obviously means you can also animate maps and stuff like that, right? So of course, a lot of people have good things to say about a tool like this because it's just freaking awesome. And are we ready to create? Absolutely. So that's how you get in and start dabbling with Hera. So what do you want to create? Infographics, logos, text, social media content, ads, overlays. Just kind of pick what you want, find the templates that you think you'll be dabbling with most, and then you're straight into the editor, right? can pick the template as you can see, and in this edit mode, there are a bunch of things that you can do with the control tool on top. Very simple interface with a few things on top like I mentioned, where you can pick the aspect ratio, the style of the map, or some details around the template. And of course, the text input space at the bottom where you can exactly give your prompt and then see Hera magically do what you're looking for. A quick hack, of course, is to use GPT itself for prompting, right? It's something that I've covered in many videos in the past as well, especially when I'm doing, say, image to video generations using tools like Minimax or Kling or even VO3 for that matter. Getting the prompt from a GPT or a Gemini or any other LLM and then using that as the input into a tool like, say, even Hera is the right way, or is a smarter and faster way to go about creating whatever you're looking for. So script in, and I need to prompt on Hera for this script. Give me prompts for each bit. Needless to say, in English, just get rid of the typo. There we go. I had to say that in particular because my script is in Hindi. But there we go. It's very clearly given me the prompts for each of these components that I need to get off Hera, for example. And this is how I actually made this video, right? Took each of these prompts, put them in there into Hera, got those segments, and then stitched them all together, which is what I'm kind of going to show you as we go through this video. So clear breakdown of exactly what those prompts are going to be, which I can then put over there after I've picked the right template basically. So let's have a look at a couple examples, right? Copy the prompt, place it in the editor and give it some time to create, and boom, there we go. Zoomed into India, it's highlighted, and the waves are visible. And like I said, with the action controls on top, you can change a few things like the aspect ratio, the map style, the duration that you want it to be running for, and stuff like that. And like I mentioned already, there are a ton of templates available, right, that you can just directly pick from. Of course, something that I want to call out with these maps in particular is Hera is pulling these maps from a global repository, so to say, where sometimes the borders are not identified the way, you know, the countries recognize themselves to be. Like India, for example, it's absurd that parts of Kashmir aren't really there, but that's the unfortunate reality with, you know, tools like this. So anyway, pick the templates that you want. Like I said, a lot of stuff across maps. Within maps itself, you have various styles that you can choose and pick from, and, you know, then kind of explore it exactly for your requirements. So let's try one out real quick, right? Show a map of India, zoom into Kerala and add a GDP label. Highlight Tamil Nadu. And there you go. Exactly as I said it, it has happened, where we zoomed in down south, highlighted Tamil Nadu after the GDP label. In fact, it even pulls stats and information from online repositories like I just mentioned with the maps in particular. Let's try one more. So let's pick this template with big labels. Show the map of India and highlight River Ganga with the blue line flowing through it, of course, to show it as a river. Label it River Ganga. Alright, enter. Let's see what we get. And a few seconds later, there you go. Exactly how you wanted it. Let's try another. 9:16, of course, copy pasting it directly from the script. Deserts like Thar, rainforests in the northeast, islands in the Bay of Bengal, snow in Kashmir. Highlight each of the above one by one on the map of India, and I've given it the colors as well so that, you know, we can get it exactly the way we want. And boom, exactly what you wanted, the way you described it. Of course, it's a geography video, means there's a lot of map stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's only maps. We're talking facts, we're talking about stats and stuff like that. So let's have a look at a couple such templates as well, right? In terms of motion graphics, you can pick the icons you want and, you know, just really quickly give it the info that you're looking for. 3 icons for trade, navy, monsoon, because there's a little bit about how, like I said, the geography is very conducive for those kind of things as well. And with an input like that, if you go to history over there, you can see the exact breakdown on the side in terms of how on the back end it's also working, right? You can see how this particular template itself is described in Hera's words itself. And just with this input that I've given, let's see what kind of output we get. There's a ton of other stuff that you can do as well, right? In terms of picking a brand style, you can quickly update your brand kit over here. This is, of course, if you have subscription and then, you know, you're a pro user, so to say. But you can pick the colors, the kind of images that you want to add, the fonts, etc. So all the content it then creates is going to have that same consistency, reel on reel, video on video, shot on shot at that micro level itself as well. So there you have it, a real quick tutorial video on how you can use Hey or how you can make geography videos using AI. Couple things to keep in mind over here. Of course, nothing is as rosy as it looks. It doesn't take just one attempt to get what you want. You will need to dabble with it a little bit here and there, do 2-3 more variations than you'd actually like, and then get what you want. And sure, with each of these generations, sure, you can actually put the duration that you want, but the fidelity kind of breaks beyond say 6-7 seconds. And if you're making reels in particular, you want it to be a lot more snappy. So make sure your script durations are also between say 30 to 45 seconds so that you can stitch together say 6 to 8 shots together and get the entire reel out. And of course, also use a template for consistent branding. That way it just becomes a little easier to hide all the inconsistent blemishes that may appear otherwise. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one.